And good morning and welcome to my Monday morning mindset wisdom. Now, today the letter is P, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about productivity. You see, interestingly, the reason that it's so important is over the last few years, the productivity here in Australia has actually fallen, and we've had a really slack approach to productivity. Quite a few pieces of research have shown that the average person in a working day is only productive for about 2.5 hours. Yet here's the thing, before COVID, everybody was rushing around so busy, but busy doesn't always mean being productive. However, when we're productive, not only do we get more done, which increases the bottom line of businesses for all of you business owners, it means that you'll feel better because you've got more done, and then there's more time to go and do other things. So that's one of the reasons. So I was reading an article in the newspaper at the weekend, and there was a comment by Dan Andrews, who's an economist, and he said productivity is about inspiration as opposed to perspiration. And I thought that was a really critical point, because if it comes from inspiration, it means you're inspired to do what's necessary. And inspiration comes from within, deep within in the heart. So the first thing is productivity means that you need to have a reason for why you want to do the thing, the task, or the project that you're working on. And a lot of people go to jobs and work that they don't really enjoy and they're not engaged with. And then it's even harder to feel inspired or motivated to do what is necessary, and that can impact productivity. Morning, Richard. Nice to see you here. So disengagement in the workforce is also at an all-time low. And as I said earlier, poor productivity growth, despite advances in technologies, has been diminishing since the 2000s. And a recent report by Forbes said 70% of employees are disengaged in their work. Now, some people may be employees and some people may own their own business. Either way, the key is when you're productive, you're usually in flow. And when you're in flow, you're having a life with more meaning and purpose and enjoyment. So some of it, if you're an employee in a job or you employ people, some of it comes down to leadership. And leaders have to be inspired and therefore lead by example and engage other people. So a lot of the discussion around productivity is actually all about leadership. However, let's imagine that you own your own business, because a lot of my clients do. How do you manage your day? Do you get distracted easily, or are you super productive? I'd love to hear from you as to what you do to make sure that you keep on track. And I've got a quote from Peter Drucker here, who says, "Nothing is less productive than to make more efficient what should not be done at all," because lots of people are busy being busy, but they're not productive. And that is a key. How often do you do things that are interesting but not important? So I created a little formula for productivity, which is E plus D plus T equals productivity. So I'll unpack that slightly, because I think there's 3 areas that we have to focus on. The first one, E, is energy. If inspiration is what drives productivity, inspiration, imagine when you're inspired, you feel high energy, and humans are energy beings. So the first thing you need to do is to manage your energy. If you don't feel like doing anything and you feel flat and unmotivated, you're not going to be as productive. So that comes back for your energy, and I relate that to your mission. These are the 3 M's that go with it. You have to have a purpose and a mission. Why are you doing what you're doing? That is the first key. The second one, which is D, is duration. That is your time. We talk about time management, but you need to manage your energy, and then you need to track the duration of the time that you will spend doing the task or the project that you're working on. How many days have you just sat down at your office and got on with your work, you have no idea what you're doing with your time. You're not tracking it. So tracking your time and knowing how long you're going to spend on a task is another key way to help you keep motivated. And when you track your tasks, you will be more conscious and aware, and you'll be able to measure your productivity. And the last part, which is T, is the task that you are doing. Now, sometimes you might only have a small amount of time available, and it's therefore sometimes necessary to actually look at the tasks to determine which one fits into the time block that you have and your energy levels. Because, as I said earlier, how often do you just start to get on with your work, but you don't feel like it, you're not focused, and then you waste so much time not being productive? And the key is, when we're productive, businesses improve, bottom lines increase, we feel happier, more fulfilled, and then you have more time for other things. So the formula again, E plus D plus T equals P. E is you must manage your energy. You must be clear on your mission, your why. Super important. Even if it's for a specific task in a day, making sure that you've connected to your why. Why are you doing this? What does this make a small part of? Is much easier to then see the purpose for doing it. D stands for duration. Make sure you time your task. By timing it, you're putting the energy of the mind, which is attention, into a container, and you're more likely to stay focused and be on track and get it done, because we get distracted very, very easily. In fact, we have the potential to be distracted every 8 seconds. So that's why measuring the time that you're going to spend on a task, the duration, is so important. And then the last one is T, is the task. What are you actually doing? Is it interesting but not important, or is it important even though it's not interesting? So if you take care of your energy, the time that you're taking on your tasks, you time it, and the task that you're doing within the time that you have, and how you're actually feeling, because as humans, we don't always feel like we're pumping on 6 cylinders. We occasionally have to take that into account as well. So when you track those 3 parameters, and you're looking after your mission, which is your why, your mindset, by making sure that you're focused on what's important, and then timing yourself as well, which will help you build momentum. So you have mission, mindset, and momentum. E plus D plus T equals P. And I've also got, I've got lots of articles on my website. I'll put the link below, but if you type in productivity to the little magnifying glass, there's a couple of articles. One will talk about a few specific strategies to help you be productive, and the other one talks about athletes and how they can be super productive. So a few key skill sets from them. So make sure that you have a super productive day. I would love to know from you what you do to help yourself keep productive, because if you haven't managed your mindset, your energy, what you're doing, you're going to fall into poor habits. And creating habits and good rituals and routines of focus are super important to ensure that you stay productive. Doing the things that you don't want to do, whether you feel like it or not. So ultimately, it's about building good habits, habits of focus and discipline. And although a lot of us don't like discipline, discipline ultimately gives you freedom. And when you are disciplined and you get more done, not only can it be super important for your business right now, it can also make you feel better. So celebrate your small wins as well. And then you can have more time to go and do other things in life. Simple, yet very few people do this. And lastly, if you are a leader of a business and you run teams of people, or you're in a management position, it is up to you to lead by example and engage your staff, which means you have to come with a bit of compassion and empathy. You have to do the things you say you'll do, walk your talk, and find ways to connect, collaborate, and communicate to engage your staff, because that is what is really missing today. So have an awesome week. Thanks, Richard. Appreciate your comment. Keep warm, and I will be back Later in the week, I've promised to put a segment out on my gold nugget training. So those of you that are interested in that, let me know here. I already got a list of people, and I will be releasing that later this week. And I will also see you on Friday for my live at 1 o'clock. Let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, please go ahead and be super productive in your week. Bye for now.